Today, I want to share a story about a young coder named Alex. Alex was in his first Python class, and the teacher gave him an assignment to create a simple program that greets the user. Eager to impress, Alex wrote the code as quickly as he could. It looked something like this. Satisfied with his work, Alex ran the code. But to his surprise, nothing appeared on the screen. Confused and a bit frustrated, Alex didn't know what had gone wrong. He had written the correct string, but there was no sign of it anywhere. That's when the teacher introduced the print function. The teacher explained that while Alex had created the greeting, he hadn't told the computer to show it. By using the print function, Alex could display messages and see the output of his code. It was like turning on a light in a dark room. With this newfound knowledge, Alex updated his code. After creating the variable and assigning the string hello John, Alex added the print function also. When he ran the code again, there was hello John, bright and clear on the screen. The simple addition of the print function was a game changer for Alex. So, whether you are a Python newbie or a seasoned coder, mastering the print function is very essential. Let's dive right in and unlock the magic behind Python's print function. The print function is your go-to tool for displaying text and variable values on the screen. It's like your program's voice, allowing you to see what's happening inside your code. The print function is formed by the keyword print, followed by parentheses. Inside these parentheses, you place whatever you want to display. Let's break it down. Print hello John. Now let's run the code. In this example, hello John is a string enclosed in double quotes. You can also use single quotes like print hello John. Both work perfectly in Python, so you don't need to worry about syntax errors when choosing one. But what if you want to print the value of a variable along with some text? Here is how you can do it. Let's create a variable name and assign to it a string Alex. Now I want to display hello Alex. So now we need to use the print function. Print the string I'm going to include is hello. Now I need to include Alex. Alex is already assigned to the variable name, so I will add the variable here plus name. Next, if you want a full stop or exclamatory mark, etc., you can add that particular punctuation marks also. I will include an exclamatory mark, so I will add it here, the exclamatory, and now we will close the parentheses. Now let's run the code. You get hello Alex. In this case, the print function displays the text hello followed by the value stored in the variable name and ends with an exclamation mark. Here you can see that between the comma and Alex, the space is included, and that space I have already included inside the print function after the comma in hello. If you don't include the space here, then in the output you won't get the space. For example, if I type print hello, comma, no space, close the double quotes, plus name, plus the exclamation mark. Now let's run and see. Now you can see after the comma there is no space. It's because in the print function, that is after comma in the string hello, I have not included the space. Another way to achieve the same result is by separating the text and the variable with commas inside the print function. Name is equal to Alex. So now instead of the plus symbols, we will use commas. Print hello, instead of plus sign, we will put a comma. Name, comma, again instead of the plus sign, we have chosen a comma. Then the exclamatory mark inside double quotes. close the parenthesis. Now let's run the program. Here you get hello Alex again, but notice that here we have not included any space, but by default this method automatically adds spaces between each argument so that the output looks like this: hello Alex. So there is space between the comma and Alex, and between Alex and exclamatory mark. Both methods are correct, but the first one, that is using the addition symbol, gives you more control over spacing, since you can concatenate the strings and variables exactly as you want them. Now you may think, here I have included space between the comma and name and between the comma and exclamatory mark. That's why the space had been added in the output. No. Now let's create the same print function without any space. Print hello, comma, no space, name, comma, no space, exclamatory mark. Close the parenthesis. Let's run it. You see, you get the same output, hello Alex, with the space included. This is why I tell you, the first method gives you more control over spacing, since you can concatenate the strings and variables exactly as you want them. So if you use a comma instead of plus symbol, automatically this method adds spaces between each argument. The print function isn't just for strings. It can handle various data types directly, including integers, floats, and booleans. Let's look at some examples. Print 56. This prints the integer 56. Next, print minus 8.45. This prints the floating point number minus 8.45. Next, print true. This prints the boolean value true. And always remember that the boolean value true always begins with capital letter T. You can notice here that the numbers and the booleans don't need quotes. If you put them in quotes, Python treats them as strings and they will be printed as text. This distinction is crucial because if you treat a number as a string, you can't perform mathematical operations on it. Let's consider a practical example. Suppose you want to calculate the total of two numbers and print the result. Let's create a variable num1 and equal to 10. Let's create another variable num2 and assign the value 30. Now you need to find the sum of these two numbers and you want to display the result also. So let's use the print function. Print num1 plus num2. Let's run the program. You get the result 40, which is 10 plus 30. So here we have treated 10 and 30 as integers. So the mathematical operation addition is done on these two numbers 10 plus 30 and you're getting the result 40. Now let's see what happens if we treat them as strings. Same variable num1 equal to 10. This time you see we have enclosed the number 10 in double quotes. So now this is a string, it is not a number. Similarly, num2 equal to 30. Here also we have used the double quotes in order to make the number 30 as string. Now let's print num1 plus num2. This will output 1030, not 40. Why? Because when you put numbers in quotes, Python treats them as strings and concatenates them instead of adding them together. It is like the first number 10 has placed in the first place and number 30 has been placed in the second position. So it is like the string concatenation. It is not the addition of numbers. Now let's address a common misconception. Let's create a variable first name and assign to it Alice plus another variable last name, assign to it Smith. Now let's print these two variables. Print first name comma space last name. Now let's run the program. You get Alice Smith with single space between Alice and Smith. Suppose you remove the space between the comma and the last name in the print function like this. Print first name, comma, no space, last name. Now let's run and see. You will notice that the output remains the same, Alice Smith. The spaces between the arguments are not affected by the spaces around the commas in the print function. They are controlled by the zip parameter of the print function, which defaults to a single space. The print function has two additional parameters that can be very useful: zip and end. Let's explore how they work with practical examples. The zip parameter allows you to change the separator between multiple arguments. By default, zip is a single space, but you can customize it to anything you like. Here is an example. Print hello world. Zip. Instead of the single space, I'm including a vertical bar. Now close the parenthesis. This will output hello world. In this case, the vertical bar is used as a separator instead of the default space. And next comes the end parameter. The end parameter controls what is printed at the end of the print function. By default, it adds a new line character so that the next output appears on a new line. However, you can change this behavior as well. Here is how. Print hello. I'm using the end parameter equal to single space enclosed in double quotes, and close the parenthesis, and again another print function, insert that world. Now let's run the code. The output will be hello world. Here the end parameter is equal to what? I have used a single space, that also in the first print function, and this ensures that the world, which is in this second print function, is printed on the same line separated by a space instead of moving to a new line. Let's see what happens if we remove the end parameter. Print, close the braces, no end parameter, and the next print function with world. Now let's run the code. Now we can see both are printed on separate lines. Hello on the first line, world on the second line. This is because we have not included the end parameter. By default, the Python treats the end parameter as a new line. That's why the second print function world has automatically moved to the second line. The print function is versatile and can handle more complex data types such as lists, tables, and dictionaries. And that's the print function. It's a simple yet powerful tool that you will find yourself using constantly in Python. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to Deep Ignite for more awesome tech tutorials. Before we wrap up, here is a quick demonstration of the print function in action. Try it out yourself to see how easy and versatile the print function can be. Thanks for watching, and see you soon in the next video.